Hello children, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do the important questions. Most of them are board questions with answers of the lesson The Lost Spring, written by Anis Junk, which is for class 12th. We are only going to deal with the 2-mark questions this time. So let's start. Question number 1. What does the discussion about slippers tell about the condition of the rag pickers? The rag pickers do not have even a single pair of slippers or chappals. This tells us how bad their economic condition is. Yet, they try to cover up their poverty by giving excuses. One boy says that his mother has kept these chappals on the shelf and he is not interested in wearing them. The other excuse is that according to Indian tradition, we shouldn't be wearing slippers. So thus, they try to explain away their perpetual state of poverty. Perpetual means permanent. Question number 2. Describe the irony in Sahib's name. Sahib-e-Alam means Lord of the Universe. The irony in the name was he was unaware of what his name represents. So he roamed the streets with his friends, an army of barefoot boys who were rag pickers. They appeared in the morning and disappeared by the noon. They contribute to the family income and become partners in survival. Question number 3. What does Sahib look for in the dumps? Sahib, like all rag picking children, scrounges for gold in the dumps. Scrounges means searches very hard. It means their daily bread, a roof over their heads. For children like Sahib, this means even more. They are very happy to get some money, like a 10-rupee note in the garbage. To them, it is wrapped in wonder. Name 2 difficulties of the bangle makers of Firozabad. This had come in the latest 2020 exam paper. The entire family makes bangles from morning to evening and their eyes are more adjusted to the dark than to the light outside. Hence, they often end up losing their eyesight before they become adults. A vicious circle of sahukars and middlemen, policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politicians have imposed the baggage on the child that he can never put down. A bangle maker is forced to be a bangle maker throughout his life. There are actually 2 difficulties. One is the children just keep making bangles so they become blind. The second is all these powerful people like sahukars, middlemen and all, they actually put the big burden of making bangles on the child even before he can start thinking. To which country did Sahib's parents originally belong? Why did they migrate to India? Sahib's parents originally belonged to Bangladesh, set amidst the green fields of Dhaka. There were many storms that swept away their fields and homes. This forced them to migrate to another place for their livelihood. 6. How was Mukesh different from the other bangle makers in Firozabad? The bangle makers of Firozabad had accepted their lot as their karam. Mukesh did not dare to oppose the powerful people. He just chose an alternate profession, that is being a motor mechanic. He was ready to walk to the neighboring village to learn. His dream was attainable. All this makes Mukesh different from other bangle makers. Question number 7. The steel canister seems heavier than the plastic bag he would carry so lightly over his shoulder. Explain. Sahib had got a good job at the tea stall. He earned rupees 800 a month and got 3 meals a day. But his face had lost the carefree look which the author Anis Jung saw when he was a rag picker. This was because Sahib was now answerable to the tea stall owner. He was no longer his own master. Describe Simapuri. Simapuri is a place on the periphery of Delhi, yet miles away from it metaphorically. In structures of wood, with roofs of tin and tarpaulin, devoid of sewage, drainage, or running water, live 10,000 rag pickers. They have lived here for many years without an identity, without permits, but with ration card that gets their names on voters list and enables them to buy grain. When it comes to survival, food is more important than identity. 9. Whom does Anis Jung blame for the sorry plight of the bangle makers? Anis Jung, the narrator, blames the bangle makers themselves for their plight. Here again, it's a two marker, and I am giving you two people whom she blames. One is the bangle makers themselves, and one is all the important people. So Anis Jung, the narrator, blames the bangle makers themselves for their plight. They accept their life as their karma and believe in superstitions and feel it is because of their caste that they are doomed to be bangle makers. She also blames the sahukars, the middlemen, the policemen, the keepers of law, the bureaucrats, and the politicians. Together, they oppress these bangle makers so that they can never progress. Question number 10. Justify the title The Lost Spring. In the lesson, The Lost Spring, Anis Jung, the narrator, underlines the curse of child labor. Sahib and boys like him who should be studying are forced to work with their parents to feed their family. The bangle makers have never seen childhood. Spring here in the title symbolizes youth and a joyous life. This has been lost for these children who are caught in child labor. That is why the lost childhood is titled as The Lost Spring. With this, we have come to an end with the 2 markers. We will see the 1 and the 5 markers later on. Thank you for watching.